Hey, it's Aaron the Ho from Mobilereviews-eh.ca, and today we're going to do the Speck CandyShell review for the iPhone 6. This is a very slim case, and it's a very popular case. A lot of people have been asking for me to review it. Now, for me personally, I feel like I'm putting my iPhone 6 into a bowl with the Speck CandyShell. I have a couple issues with the case. The build quality is a bit lacking. It's really, it's not the greatest phone to hold in your hand, and the droppability, I'm not quite sure if it's really droppable. Though there is a nice logo on the packaging as well as on Speck's website saying that you can drop it. Now, with all that being said, I don't want to make it sound like this is a bad case. I still gave it a score of 4 A's out of 5. It's a very good, slim iPhone 6 case, but there are cases that are better, like the Spigen Tough Armor, as well as the Urban Armor Gear. And to a certain extent, the Otterbox Symmetry, there's a couple features on that Otterbox case that's better than the Speck case.
Real usage, real reviews. Mobilereviews-eh.ca.
Now at Mobilereviews-eh, we base our reviews on actual usage, so we just don't unbox it and then just review it. It did take an accidental tumble off my desk, and we definitely did spend a lot of time staring at the scratches on the back of the case because, well, there's still dirt in mine. And probably the most important thing that we do is compare it against other cases. For me, I found that the Speck CandyShell shows wear and tear quite easily. When you take the case out of the packaging, it's the shiny, glossy looking case, but then you put it in your pocket and take it out immediately, and it looks like you bought a secondhand case. The glossy nature of the Speck CandyShell also seems like a wonderful repository for your naturally occurring hair and face oil, so after a day it does feel a little greasy. Now on top of that, the case is a little bit more difficult to install when compared to other cases, so we end up flexing the case a bit more, and we've noticed that certain parts of the case seem to be showing that wear and tear from all the installs and uninstalls that we've done with this case. Now, the protection aspect of the Speck CandyShell, they make it sound like this is an incredibly tough case, right? It's military grade. They've got all these logos on their website and packaging saying that it meets or exceeds military standards, but when you dig deep into their website, they don't actually tell you how far you can drop it. They do say that the case is rated to mil standard 810G, and from my understanding of that mil spec is that you can drop this thing from 4 feet, no problem. You could probably drop it from 6 feet. Shouldn't be a problem. 8 feet, I don't know. So again, I don't know how hard I'm supposed to drop it. I do feel quite comfortable dropping my iPhone 6 in the Speck CandyShell from about a height of 4 feet, as I'm about to do. See, not a problem. We can even do 6 feet. Oh, that was a face first. So, a 6 foot face first drop, the Speck CandyShell will not protect. One of the reasons why companies don't say how high you can drop it is because people like me will actually go ahead and do it. Yeah, 6 foot drop face first, iPhone 6 isn't going to survive. Mind you, I don't think any sort of iPhone slim case is going to survive a 6 foot drop face first onto concrete. And Speck does realize this because, you know, how far can you drop it? Information says that your iPhone's still going to take damage inside this case regardless of how high you drop it. If you drop it in the lava, it's still going to break. Now, despite the fact that my iPhone 6 screen is cracked, I'm still going to keep the score 4 A's out of 5 because it's a decent slim iPhone case. So those are kind of the highlighted features that I feel are important to talk about. If you want to know more information, do check out our website. We've got this easy to read review table that has how we've marked everything. I'm going to take the next few minutes. I'm going to talk about some of the other characteristics, specifically why I feel like my iPhone 6 is sitting in a bowl. In terms of design, the Speck CandyShell is fairly slim. In terms of screen protection, the Speck CandyShell has some pretty significant edges, which extends approximately 1/8 of an inch past the touchscreen. Speck does not include a screen protector for your case, so if you were to drop it face first from 6 feet, you might shatter your iPhone 6 screen. In terms of functionality, you can easily get to your iPhone 6 in this case. However, because of the glossy nature of this case, the grippiness of the case is a bit lacking. If you've got really sweaty palms, this case might not be right for you. Now, when I say my iPhone 6 sits in a bowl with the Speck CandyShell, the edges really bother me on this case, and I was trying to figure out if the edges on the iPhone 5 version did either, and they're exactly the same height. They kind of come off about 1/8 of an inch off the touchscreen. The biggest difference is that the edges on the iPhone 5 version are actually a bit further away from the touchable area of the iPhone 6, so they don't really get in the way of you accessing your iPhone 5 screen. That's not the case for the iPhone 6 version. Now, despite that, you can still easily access the Q and P on your keyboards on the case. Now, if you think edges might actually bother you, consider getting a Spigen Tough Armor or even an Otterbox Symmetry. The edges on this case aren't too bad. Now, before I just quickly go through the comparison between these other slim iPhone cases, if this is the first time you're watching one of our videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe. We produce 2 to 3 videos a week, and yes, we do actually drop our devices. As you can see here, I've got a busted iPhone 6 screen after dropping it face first from a height of 6 feet. If you like what we do, consider supporting us by getting one of our t-shirts through our Spreadshirt store or supporting us on Patreon. Right now, I am needing funds for a new iPhone 6 screen because mine is now shattered and I don't think I should use it. Stuff's coming off of it. The Speck CandyShell, in terms of the Urban Armor gear, I like the Urban Armor gear better. It's slimmer, it feels nicer in your hands. Compared to the Spigen Tough Armor, again, the Spigen Tough Armor looks like a really expensive case. The silver back, it makes it look like it's metal. And so the CandyShell is, it's nice looking, but it's not as, fancy looking as the Spigen Tough Armor. And the edges are a little lower on the Spigen case. Same goes for the Otterbox Symmetry. Now, handling your iPhone inside the case is easier with the Speck CandyShell because the edges actually conform to the general shape of the iPhone, whereas in the Otterbox Symmetry doesn't. So it makes it a little more unwieldy to use in your hand, but the edges are better than the Speck CandyShell. So that's a quick comparison between all these cases. I'm Aaron the Ho. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Find us on Google+, Twitter, as well as Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching.